We have a minute? Oh, yeah, we have a minute.
No, it's
You can't start without me.
oh, we're not starting without you.
No, you can't.
Here's a guy we can't start without.
Oh, darn it. Go back out and come back in. Okay.
Oh, we have a couple of places we have to be, so.
Yeah, I know. I need to ask Ms. Thomas a question, but I can ask her later.
Okay. That you cannot, or you can
I will.
later, or now.
No, after this, I'll ask
Okay,
if we walk
great.
over. Is that okay with you?
Fine, sure.
Okay. Since you're the birthday person, we'll be amenable.
Okay, folks.
Yeah, today's his
It's
birthday.
5:30, and we have a couple of places we have to be tonight, so we'll get started. Call this meeting, 5:30 meeting, special meeting of the Charlottesville City Council to order. Ms. Thomas, would you please call the roll?
Councilor Payne?
Here.
Councilor Pinkston?
Here.
Councilor Pergia?
Here.
Mayor Snook?
Here.
Vice Mayor Wade?
Here.
Okay, we're all here, present and accounted for. We have a pretty simple agenda. Is there a motion to approve or to amend the agenda?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes. So the first action item is an ordinance on the FY 2024 budget and annual tax levy for the tax year 2023. Ms. Hamill, you leading this off?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. First, I'd just like to say thank you. We made it. We made it through this budget season. Unfortunately, Mr. Rogers is under the weather and is not going to be joining us in person, but he is online if anyone has any questions. So just a few very brief comments. As you recall, the city manager's proposed budget came to you at $226,239,155. Through some continued revenue adjustments, last week we worked through the infamous spreadsheet. Council was able to add some adjustments at just a little over $2 million. Those adjustments are itemized on page 23 of your packet. We made adjustments to both the general fund and the CIP, bringing the total general fund budget to $230,390,146. And so with that, tonight you will be approving two ordinances. One is for the annual tax levy. As you know, we did not increase or change any of those tax rates. And then additionally, the approval of the budget and annual appropriation for fiscal year 2024. And with that, I'll take any questions or turn it back over to you.
And these are second readings, Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
Okay.
We had the first reading.
The April 3rd.
April 3rd, yes. Okay. And I do have a couple of questions. I should have asked you about this during the day here. On page 3, page 2 and City Council amendments to the City Manager's proposed budget are as follows, and then proceed to add, have a number of things that total $1.9 million. And, or is that, no, the city, what follows the colon at the bottom of page 2?
The chart that has the total FY24 city manager proposed budget, and it itemizes $1.9 million worth of things that are carryovers. Essentially, they're dollars that were appropriated during this year that we know are not going to be spent, and we're asking for you to approve those appropriations to be spent in 24.
Okay. I thought we had not, in fact, approved more spending on these things, and I didn't want to inadvertently end up voting for something.
No, thank you. That's a good, I'm glad you brought that up.
So these are carryover funds previously appropriated but not spent.
Correct.
And then the line for council amendments to proposed budget of $2.2 million. Okay, so those two items get added to the 226 that is above that.
That is correct.
Okay.
And the $2.1 million are the things that we talked about last week,
Right.
and they're itemized in the table on page 23.
Right. Okay. I was confused about page 3.
Sorry. No, thank you.
Anybody else have any questions? So we need to have two separate votes. First is to vote on the tax levy, and the motion on that is, I guess we've got page 25. Where is that? 20.
Yeah, I don't have my computer with me. I'll have to bring that up.
I would move to approve the ordinance to establish the annual tax levy for the tax year 2023.
All right. Any discussion from council? Oh, is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion from council? Ms. Thomas, will you take the vote, please?
Counselor Payne,
Yes?
Counselor Pinkston,
Yes.
Counselor Pergier,
Yes.
Mayor Snook,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Wade,
Yes.
That passes 5-0. Next is the ordinance approving a budget and annual appropriation of funding for the City of Charlottesville for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2024. Also a second reading. Here I need to make my disclosure that because my wife was in the city attorney's office for 8 years in the 1980s, she gets a rather small pension from the city, which we're increasing this year by roughly $100 to her. And I'm told that that requires disclosure, but not recusing myself from the vote. Anybody else have similar disclosures?
Yeah. Yes, and I had mentioned in previous meetings that my wife serves on the board of one of the nonprofits, Child Health Partnership, where she's volunteer. But I'm not required to, but I just wanted to make it known that she serves on that board, but I will be voting on the budget as well.
She's also a volunteer
Yes,
and
she's
not getting paid.
correct.
Yeah. Okay.
I need to disclose that I am a member of the Jefferson School African American Heritage Center Board. It is a volunteer board. I do not get paid for that, but I felt in full transparency, those of you here and listening needed to know that.
Okay. Any other similar disclosures? Can we have a motion to approve the budget?
I would move to approve the ordinance approving a budget and annual appropriation of funding for the City of Charlottesville for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2024.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Ms. Thomas?
Counselor Payne,
Yes?
Counselor Pinkston,
Yes.
Counselor Pergier,
Yes.
Mayor Snook,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Wade,
Yes.
That motion also passes 5-0. Then, thank you, Ms.
you.
Hamill.
Thank you.
Now we're coming to establishing the 2023 tax year personal property tax relief percentage. One reading, Mr. Divers.
Mr. Mayor, members of council, appreciate you having me. Just to give you a quick run through on PPTR, this is the remnant of Governor Gilmore's no car tax promise. The state tried to fulfill that for a number of years by offering localities increasing amounts of state money to offset car tax. They reached a point where it was not sustainable. They capped it. And so ever since then, the city of Charlottesville has gotten about a little over $3.5 million a year that we apply to personal property tax relief to qualifying vehicles in the city. The way we do it is vehicles valued qualifying vehicles valued $1,000 or less get 100% tax relief, and then the rest of the grant goes to towards a percentage on the value of vehicles up to $20,000 or up to the $20,000 of value of qualifying vehicles. So obviously, depending on the size of the fleet or the valuation of the fleet, that percentage can go further or not quite as far. This year, after doing our analysis, we're going with 33%.
So there will be people who are under $20,000 in value, but over $1,000.
We'll get, correct, well, at 33% of the value of the first $20,000 of value will be covered by the state.
All right. I suppose those of us who own cars of more than $1,000, do we need to make any disclosure of this fact?
No one ever has.
I think where we're being treated just with every other citizen in the city, we don't have to.
Yeah, I get it too.
Yeah. Okay. Any questions for Mr. Divers?
No.
Any discussion? Oh, first, is there a motion?
I would move to approve the resolution establishing the personal property tax relief percentage for tax year 2023.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Any discussion from council? Ms. Thomas?
Counselor Payne?
Yes.
Counselor Pinkston?
Yes.
Counselor Puryear?
Yes.
Mayor Snook?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Wade?
Yes.
That motion also passes 5-0.
Thank you all.
Mr. Divers. And there being nothing further on our agenda, we are adjourned, and some of us are going to be going to join the Planning Commission.
Yes.
Thank you all.
Thanks again for
Thank you.
pulling us across the finish line here with the budget. All of you.